Namaskar, I am Dr. Mamile Ravishankar, Assistant Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering at IIT Guwahati. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this course on polymer assisted abrasive finishing processes. This course scheduled for 10 hours which will be covered in 4 weeks of time. As you see this particular course, this is on polymers which are going to assist the abrasive particles to finish the simple to complex features, and this particular course basically divided into 3 segments. One is conventional finishing processes, advanced finishing processes as well as hybrid finishing processes. These are all finishing processes. Basically the undergraduate students may have some doubt about what is the difference between a machining process as well as the finishing process. These two processes, machining process as well as the finishing process, comes under subtractive manufacturing process. In a machining process, you mostly concentrate about material removal, how much material you are going to remove, and in a finishing process, what is the final surface finish that you have achieved. But you may not worry about how much material I am removing from the process. Most of this course is theoretical oriented course, so you may face very less mathematics and equations. However, required times I may also tell you in terms of the geometrical as well as some of the mathematical equations and other things. So now we proceed to the 3 segments, that is conventional abrasive finishing processes, advanced finishing processes and hybrid finishing processes. So in conventional abrasive finishing processes, the polymers assist in many ways for batch production, for mass production, and some of the customized production line also this will be used. In the conventional abrasive finishing processes, I start with the grinding, where I teach you about polymer grinding wheels which are resinoid bond and other polymers based, polymer matrix based grinding wheels where the abrasive particles are embedded. This comes under the bonded abrasive processes. In the conventional abrasive finishing process, you will also study about the flexible honing where your strips may be made up of polymers, and then we go on to the super finishing process where polymer brush will be there, and wire brushing process, dental burrs. Some of the dental burrs not only made up of ceramic matrix and metal matrix, this is also made up of polymer matrix, and then we move to the buffing process. Okay. These are some of the batch processes or customized process. Then we move on to some of the batch and mass production based polymer assisted conventional abrasive finishing processes such as drag finishing, vibratory bowl finishing and pad polishing and pitch polishing. These are all comes under the umbrella of conventional polymer assisted abrasive finishing processes. Next we move on to advanced polymer assisted finishing processes. The first one to name is abrasive flow finishing process. Previously this is named as abrasive flow machining process. Since we are studying about the finishing characteristics or finishing abilities of this particular process, that's why we are naming it as abrasive flow finishing process. And various things that you are going to study in this one is polymer rheological abrasive fluids. There are varieties of polymer rheological abrasive fluids, and different base polymers are used. Depend on that and depend on the viscosity of the fluid, it can be named as polymer rheological abrasive fluid, or it can be named also as polymer rheological abrasive medium. Okay. Then there are some of the variants or advancements of abrasive flow finishing process such as drill bit guided abrasive flow finishing process, spiral polishing process and so on. Later we move on to the third segment of this particular course, that is called hybrid and advanced polymer assisted abrasive flow finishing process, where 2 processes will be clubbed in some cases. Some are the advances of abrasive flow finishing process also I will cover in this segment. So what do you mean by hybrid? Some people may have some doubt about what is the difference between hybrid and advanced. So whenever you are talking about a advanced version of a particular process, that is advanced finishing process, in hybrid finishing process, if you are clubbing one of the other processes with this particular existing process, for example, if you are clubbing electrochemical machining process with abrasive flow finishing process, this is a hybrid abrasive finishing process. And if you are making an advance, for example, an abrasive flow finishing process, the finishing rate is low. So for which you can go for rotational abrasive flow finishing process, then it is called as a advanced abrasive finishing process. Okay, these variations we will see with a category of advanced finishing processes as well as hybrid finishing processes. Some of the hybrid polymer assisted abrasive finishing processes are magnetic assisted abrasive flow finishing process, where abrasive flow finishing process medium clubbed with magnetic materials, and vibration assisted abrasive flow finishing process, and electrochemical assisted abrasive flow finishing process. These are the some of the varieties that we will see. Not only this, then we proceed to what are the applications and what is the real useful of this particular course, that is finishing of bioimplants, finishing of electronic materials, finishing of defense oriented materials, and complex features that are used in nuclear application as well as defense application, biomedical application, and all those things we will see in this particular application of this course. And then you will understand the beauty of this particular course. This particular course is designed by keeping in mind of bachelor students, master students, and research scholars. This particular course is an advanced course for the bachelors. You will learn very beautiful things like what is polymer assisted, rheology, tribology, and all those things. For the masters and research scholars, it can be a basic. At the same time, you will also come across some of the advanced versions where you can pick up your research and you can continue the research for your MTech project or PhD projects. As I said, this particular course will cover in 10 hours and which will be screened for 1 month course. On outset, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all for this particular course. Hope you enjoy this particular course. I will try my level best to satisfy your interest in this particular course. I look forward to interact with you. Thank you. Namaskar.